So this is a reflection to build voice, to strengthen concentration, focus, clarity in sharing a message. What's the message gonna be? The message for me, that's a good thing to think about. If I had a message to give to the world, I would say to be aware of the way we're feeling, and if we sense any types of fear, uncertainty, or doubt in our energy field, we gotta find a solution, because usually when you're feeling those feelings is the center of it is uncertainty, lack of clarity, lack of knowledge. The solution is to gain knowledge, to gain wisdom, to practice listening. Listening is a very powerful tool which helps one gain knowledge, especially wisdom that otherwise could not be known. It begins from listening, from hearing. Hearing with attention, with rapt attention. When one is situated in listening with rapt attention, without trying to give an answer, without trying to give a response, without trying to find a solution, but hearing simply for the purpose of understanding, overstanding, understanding on all levels what is going on. What a guan, what a guan, what a guan. So this is the question we ask ourselves: what's going on? What is this existence? Who am I? What is my purpose? What is this energy? This energy that allows me to be? Why am I able to ask the questions in life? The questions are the most important thing. To ask the question, to really ask the question, what is the purpose of my existence? To know that might not come right away. It actually might not come right away. But if we have the receptivity, the receptibility for that, then it'll come. The answer will come. Let's say the answer comes and I'm not listening. I may not get the answer. If we're listening clearly, if we're hearing attentively, we will know God, because God is found in the sound vibration. The sound vibration comes from the most subtle energy. It's the only one that's perceivable by the ethers. It's invisible. Can hear it. Can actually feel the rhythm too, right? If it's loud enough, boom, 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 you can feel it in your chest. You can feel the vibration. It actually moves us. But sound comes from the ether, comes from space, the space with between. Because if there was a solid obstruction in between the transmitter and the receiver, the sound waves could not pass through. The sound waves require space to travel. So when we're hearing with an open heart, non-judgment, no trying to think we're better, no trying to think we have the answer already. When we listen with a beginner's mindset, to come back to a place of innocence, to a place of curiosity, a place of purity, we experience the world ever fresh, ever fresh, ever fresh, ever fresh, always changing, new, renewed. If one is closed off and does not listen and does not think that there's a way to improve, there will be no progression. It will remain a sideways trend. It will remain indecisive, fear and uncertainty and doubt. And most people, they just allow those emotions to take over, and they never question what real happiness is. Because I'll tell you, real happiness is not on a price tag. There's people out there, they got lots of money, but at the end of the day, very upset. And sometimes they even take their own life, unfortunately. What is causing that dissatisfaction? What is causing it truly? You want to hear my opinion? It's a lack of understanding one's true self. It's a lack of education into knowing how amazing the individual being is. It's a lack of knowing our potential. It's a lack of patience. It's a lack of trust. And it's a dissatisfaction. It's never enough, right? More. Always asking for more instead of saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, for giving me this life. Thank you, life, for teaching me the lessons. Thank you, obstacles, for making me stronger. You see, and I'm not upset. Trust me, I'm not upset. If I'm raising my voice, I am not upset. I'm feeling it. And you must already be feeling it too. And it's an interesting feeling. Where does it come from? I believe it comes from the soul. And the soul has so many different languages, but I think there's a consciousness within that cannot be seen with external senses. Cannot be taken away from you. There's a consciousness subtler than even the different people we play in life, the different acts, the different masks. Sometimes people put masks on. I know I used to a lot. And you know what? When we take off the mask, when we take off everything, who remains? Who's there? Who's thinking? Who's breathing? Who's feeling? Who's the sentient being? Who's the one that feels those emotions? Who's the one that has the longings and the desires? Who's the one looking for happiness? Who's that? Who's that? So, the spiritual path is not named after something. One person's names are not better than another person's names. One person's categories and language are not better than another person's categories and language. At the end of the day, breaking it, when I say breaking, I mean breaking down to the most essential part. If you take everything off, all the coverings, and you see the essence, it is same. It is the same. It is the same. We are experiencing life through 5 senses. Most people, if they're lucky, they can have their 5 senses. But at least one of the senses can connect one to this life, into this reality. But most people have 5 senses. And And subtler than the five senses is the mind. And subtler than the mind is the true self. The true self, because even sometimes you get thoughts you don't want, right? But who is that? Who's that inside fighting that internal battle? Who is that? Okay, let's connect with that person again. Let's invite them into our life again. Let's invite them into life. Don't put them on the back burner. Don't let the society criticize you for finding yourself. Because we tend in this society put so many people in front of ourselves. We get lost. We forget who we are. I'm here to remind myself, I'm here to remind my friends, my family, that you are who you are. Ain't nobody gonna take that away from you. And if you got something to say, say it. If you got something to say, just say it. But can you say it in a way you're not upset, you're not angry? I'm not upset, I'm not angry. But can we get excited about it? Can we put a little passion into it? Can we put a little flavor into our being? Can we just spice it up who we are? If you want to be a certain way, you design your life. You get to mold your character. I get to mold my character. If I start picking up different things into my character as ornaments to my being, that's okay. That's okay. But I think to shift and try to become someone else's being is not okay. So there's little, everyone's got their ways of finding out amazing things in the world and how things work and how to express oneself in multifarious ways. And hey, I didn't invent the guitar, but I love playing guitar. And you know what? Every note is eternal. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They're always eternal. No one created the G note, and no one created the C note. No one created the E minor note, and no one created the A minor. No one created the B7, and no one created each different sound wave. They eternally were, and it's the same sounds and frequencies that were around since the beginning of time. In the Veda, they call that Om, the original sound, the root of all vibrations. This whole world is vibrating. Every atom is vibrating. Yeah, so there's so many different colors in the rainbow, right? Yeah. All these things do not divide us, they unite us. Because all the colors not separated, they're touching, they fade into one another. All the musical notes, they're not separated, they transition from one to the other. It's called a chromatic scale. And life is the same way. There's some things you're not gonna invent, all right? You have to get real with it, is that there's nothing new under the sun. But it's okay. Repetition is beautiful. Identify the sacred patterns of life in ourselves and others. See the different waves, how they work in ourselves and others. And at the end of the day, go deep within ourselves and find that satisfaction from the infinite storehouse of energy, which comes from our soul, which comes from the consciousness. The source of consciousness is what we call as God. The source of consciousness is what we call as the creator, the original energy, the truth of all truths, the eternal present, the eternal life. So it's just a reminder here, it's not assuming anything that no one here, I wouldn't assume that you didn't know that already. I'm just expressing my voice because it helps me remember. It helps me remember. And the more I listen, the more I hear in life, the more I actually find a peace of mind. When I observe the emotions when they come up and I learn how to not react to them, I actually raise myself to a higher level so that instead of being controlled by them, I am the conductor of my own energies. If I feel angry, I can choose to not react to that anger. I can choose not to suppress it either. I can observe it and say, yeah, I'm feeling angry right now. What can I do? What can I do? And just take a moment before reacting. Just practicing taking a sacred pause before reacting is one of the most powerful things for free will. You want to have free will and you want to design the life you dream of. If this message applies to you, I would say, try to see next time the emotions become so strong that you want to react. Try to just pause, take a deep breath before responding, and choose our response in a calm way. In all situations, stay calm. Not emotionless, aware of our emotions, but calm in our expression. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes mellowing, it takes repetition, and it takes, honestly, it takes talking about this stuff and listening to it. Yeah, pause and respond. Pause, respond. Everything's gonna be okay. Okay? Even if things get real overwhelming, it's gonna be alright. Don't worry about it. Just be present. Just be present. Be more loving. Be more gentle. Be less forceful. Be more receiving. Like the Tao. Be open. Be open. I love you so much. I really love you because I know that your life is sacred. I know that your life is purposeful. And I know that you're here for a reason. So that's why I love you. And I love you beyond anything. Maybe I don't even know who you are. But I know deep in there is a being of light. A being who deserves love. Who deserves to be cared for. Who deserves to be healed from all the traumas, from all the offenses anyone has committed to you. You deserve to be honored again. You deserve to be put in your rightful place. Right next to the Most High. Right next to the Creator. The most powerful energy is with you now. Always.